The first one of note is Pope Formosus. So even before his election to the papacy, now remember we say that the Carolingian Empire is sort of falling in on itself. Well, he is up there in the Frankish Gaulish area, involved in imperial politics, involving himself in imperial politics. And after his election to the papacy, I don't want to get lost in the weeds of this, but we have to go through it. Follow me as best as you can, and I'll make sense of it as best as I can here with my notes. But just keep in mind this is a lot of political intrigue. So after his election, he doesn't trust the Holy Roman Emperor Guido, that Guido would not seize control over the Italian church, because Guido's on the move in Italy to war with some factions in the Italian peninsula. And Formosius doesn't trust him. So what Formosius does is in Italy, in Rome rather itself, he gathers around himself a party of powerful Roman nobles, which in turn really compromises his independency in imperial affairs. Now, moreover, he encourages a man named Arnulf, the Duke, in a dispute with the Emperor Guido for imperial power. He encourages Arnulf to advance militarily on Rome, wherein Pope Formosus says, "I will crown you the emperor." So that might have been all well and good, except for the fact that shortly after he crowns him emperor, Arnulf and Formosus both die. So what happens is this leads to the famous Cadaver Synod of 897. So the party of Emperor Guido remains triumphant at this point, and he is followed up by a successive pope who dies within 1 month, who in turn is followed up by another pope, who we'll get to in a minute here, who is called upon by the emperor to hold this synod. And it's a very macabre thing. You may have heard about this. This is the context of where this Cadaver Synod comes from. And what they do is they exhume the body of Pope Formosus. They deck him out in full papal regalia. They set him on the papal throne, and they proceed to try him in a obviously very mock trial. And they try him, they convict him, and then they dump his remains into the Tiber.